We're just gonna get started because I can't stare at my dark circles anymore. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm super happy to have you. So today I'm doing a video that was requested a couple times on my Instagram, and I'm gonna be showing you guys my everyday makeup routine. Now this routine is actually going to be if I am going to dinner with my friends or doing any other little activity that is permitted right now, because I don't wear this look every day to work because I am wearing a mask for 10 hours and the makeup would just fully come off. So normally every day I'm just doing like concealer, mascara, eyebrows, which is super easy, but this is going to be my more in-depth look. So post-pandemic, this is how I will do my makeup every single day. And yeah, it's just a lot of easy steps to do. I have some products that I'm completely obsessed with that I wanted to share with you guys as well. Yeah, so this is the look that we're going to do. I'm going to pop a picture right here so you guys can see. And we're just gonna get started because I can't stare at my dark circles anymore. I don't have a very professional setup here. Okay, so I always apply some sort of foundation first before concealer. I don't know if there's a correct way to do it, but I'm gonna be using this. Why did I just smack this into my hand like that? I'm gonna be doing the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation, and this is the shade 7 Medium. I normally like a light coverage foundation because I don't like anything that looks too cakey. And I do have a Bare Minerals one that I absolutely love, but that's more for like going out and stuff when I want a little bit more coverage. This is a great medium coverage, and it has a sort of like sheen to it. It's definitely more of a matte finish. It's not dewy at all, but it does have more of a sheen to it. I don't use a ton. I use maybe this much, and it's a little bit more of a liquidy consistency. Normally, I will just dab it onto my face with my fingers and rub it in, because it is such an easy product to blend. And then afterwards, I will go and use my beauty blender, which I probably should have cleaned before making this video, but I did not. Okay, I actually need to wet my beauty blender because I don't know what I'm doing, and I just came in here with a dry beauty blender. Okay, so I did just wet my beauty blender, and then I dropped it on the floor, so I had to go back and wet it again, so that was fun. But I did want to mention to you guys, while I was in the bathroom, I saw my little face razor. So this is like, I think it's called Dermaplaning. So it's this little razor. It has ridges in it so that it's safer. And I just use it on, I get a lot of like peach fuzz hair, but it's a little bit darker and I don't like it. So I've been using these little face razors to shave that off here. I also grow like gnarly sideburns, and I'm not into that also, so I can like trim these with it as well. I do my lip with it. You can basically shave your entire face with this, and it helps your makeup go on so much nicer, which I love. And they're super cheap. They come in a set of like, I think there were 4 in the pack. And then for moisturizer, I used the Good Molecules silicone-free priming moisturizer. This actually feels like a primer, but it makes your skin feel so much plumper and actually moisturized. I feel like with primers, because they're filling in your pores and it's kind of taking away all of that oiliness, it's kind of like making your skin feel drier. But that one moisturizes and primes at the same time, so I love it. So yeah, I'm just using my beauty blender just to pat this in a little bit. And then I will move on to concealer. And if you guys have seen any of my Instagram stories, I probably talk about this like once a week about my dark circles. And I've been using this Kiehl's sample on my eyes. It's like a vitamin C eye serum, but I haven't really seen results yet because it's been like 5 days. So I will update you guys and let you know. You can't really see them that much because there's so much natural light in front of me, but they're horrible. So for concealer, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin, and I have the shade 2.3. I have been through the ringer with concealers. I had a Too Faced Born This Way one that I loved. I had that in light beige, and it was the biggest container, and it lasted so long, and I loved it. But then I wanted to try something different, so obviously I went for the Laura Mercier Creamy Radiant Concealer, and everybody recommended that to me, and then I tried it and did not like it. I felt like because it had more of like a sheen to it, it wasn't correcting the color, if that makes sense. So this one is definitely high coverage. It has this big fat doe foot concealer, which I love, and it's a little bit of a thicker formula, but it blends really nicely, which you guys will see. So I dab literally a dot, and I am darkest more on the inner parts of my under eye, so I apply it there and then I blend it outwards. So I don't do like the huge big triangle thing, just because like I'm not crazy about like highlighting and contouring my face. You will see me contour a little bit later, but I don't try to like create a different shape on my face. I kind of just use what I got. So as you guys can see, it's blending out really nicely, and it's also covering super well too. So God bless the woman who suggested this one, because I am so in love with it. I love the coverage of it, and it honestly, for how thick it is, it blends out so quickly. Like I thought that I was gonna have to sit there for 5 minutes blending my eyes, but that is just not the case. Okay, we're blended in, and now I just use a powder brush from Morphe. This is the E3, and I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I really love using this setting powder. I've been using this for like 2 years, and look how much is left. Like this, I'm going to have this until I'm like 45, which I'm okay with, because this was like the first product that I bought that was a little bit pricier, and I was like freaking out about that a little bit, because I always just bought drugstore products, and with how well it worked and with how much you get in the package, I was like, okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Oh, also I wanted to mention, I primed my lips. Not prime them, but I use Aquaphor on my lips. I don't like watching, I have like this weird thing where like I don't like watching makeup videos if they don't have their lips moisturized. If you're like doing a makeup tutorial and you have like crusty lips, I don't know. So I'm wearing Aquaphor. I sleep with Aquaphor on. I apply it, I have a hair. I apply it during the day, and it's just the best product ever. I am throwing a lot of information at you guys, but I will link everything in the description box, obviously. Okay, so we're going to continue with the face. I am going to use the Benefit Hoola bronzer. This is the limited edition value size, because I had the original size and I loved it so much. I know that there are a lot of bronzers out there, but this is the best for a cool tan bronzer. I am so scarred from the Jersey Shore years of when everyone used to run around looking like a bunch of carrots, and we were all okay with it, with our like orangey bronzer. And I wasn't really allowed to wear makeup at that time, so I think I kind of like snuck by that little trend. But I love a cool tone. Any face product that I use, I make sure that it has a cool undertone, because I don't want it to look orange at all. I don't want it to look yellow when it comes to concealer, so I always go for those cool undertones. And this is just a very nice, cool, bronzy color. I use the brush that it comes with to go underneath my cheekbone here, and then I'll use my Morphe brush for the other part. But I make this face, and I lightly dust it because I'm pale right now. We're in the middle of winter, and I don't want it to look insane, so I just do a little bit. And I actually really like this brush because it cuts right underneath your cheekbone where the hollow parts are. And then I'm going to use the Morphe E4 brush, so it's kind of like, I don't know what that's called when it's slanted. You guys, I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just letting you know. And then I will bronze the sides of my face in the temple, and then I'll take it across my forehead a little bit. Same thing on the other side. I don't use too much product either because I'm so pale right now. So I only dip the brush in twice, and then I'll go around and just keep doing this probably for like 30 seconds. And then once I've used all the product on the brush, then I go in and blend the cheek always down. Like you don't want to bring this farther up because it's not going to create the right shadow that we want to have going on here. So once that is blended in really well, now you can just see that there's like a clear shadow, and it kind of like really highlights your cheekbones. That's why I don't go nuts with the concealer. I only apply it under my eyes because the bronzer does a really great job of finishing off the contouring and creating any shadows where you need them. And then I'll just throw the rest of it on my jawline here. I don't know that that makes a huge difference, but I see a bunch of people doing it, so I just throw it on. And then the next product that I have been obsessed with ever since getting it. I have always been a blush girl. Like I know that a long time ago, blush wasn't really a thing, but it was one of those makeup products that I was allowed to wear. So I've always been into blushes. And I shared with you guys that I got this in one of my vlogs. I think it was my last vlog. And it is the Nars Blush in the shade Behave. This stuff is the greatest thing ever. It gives you a nice little sunburnt look without looking too dramatic, and even though it's a powder blush, it just looks so smooth and so nice on the skin. So I'll start with this on the apples of my cheeks, and then I'll sweep it up in toward my nose to kind of give you, because when you have sunburn, you kind of get it like all around here, and I just love that look. I think it looks summery. It makes you look tanner, because if you have a burn, obviously you went somewhere. but I didn't. I'm just creating the illusion. So you can see that it's just like I'm not using that much product and it's creating like a nice little flush in my cheeks. And then I just literally sweep it sideways up my nose and then I'll dust it on top. And we love this because I like an all over bronzy glow, but I feel like part of being bronzed is having a little bit of sunburnt, but we will never actually get sunburnt because we wear a lot of Supergoop SPF and it protects our skin super well. So I'm going to move on to my brows. I'm also looking over here because I have all of my makeup products sitting on my nightstand. So I use this Dior pencil. You can't even tell that it's a Dior pencil because it's almost out. But I got this one because I've had this for maybe 3 years. Like it lasts so long. Any of the twist up pencils that I've tried, the formula is just a little bit more kind of like clay-like and it grabs onto my eyebrows too much, whereas this one is really easy to spread and manipulate into whatever way you want, and it just creates more of a shadow. I don't like having a harsh line at the bottom. I'll just show you guys how I do them. So I'm going to comb them up first, and I did take pictures outside this morning, so I do have a little bit of eyebrow on. I put on sunglasses so that I didn't have to put any makeup, but I did want to put eyebrows on because I did have them showing in the photo. So I just create the one line down at the bottom and then I'll fill it upwards a little bit. And then I wear my brows straight and then I'll color it in at the top to kind of like create that straighter line. Oh my gosh. Sneezing looks so weird with a really strong eyebrow. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Oh, I forgot to say, excuse me. Sorry for sneezing. And then I'll just do the same thing on the other side with a darker line toward the bottom and then lightly filling it in toward the top of the front of my brow. I leave the middle alone, and then again, I just go on the outside here and just fill it in a little bit just so that I have, like, you could see that straight shape. Okay, this looks crazy, but then we go in and brush it out again. So really what this does is that straight line that I created, it's gonna diffuse it a little bit. It's gonna bring it a little bit lower also. I don't draw it super low because when I do this, it kind of just blends it out nicely to the point where the product will go a little lower on its own. And then I take my finger and just brush it upwards just so I can get like a nice faded line of color here. And that is it. On a normal day, I don't wear any brow setting products at all, but I do want to try the Refi Beauty one because everyone has been raving about it. Another thing I want to try is the Code 8 Beauty, the under eye brightener, because obviously I already said I have terrible under eye circles and that product looks really nice on the skin. There are so many things that I want to try. I just can't. So, okay, brows are done, but normally I'll wear the Anastasia setting gel on my eyes, so I can link that down below for you guys too. It's a really nice product and it doesn't get like flaky. So done with the brows. I want to move on to my eyes now just because I kind of have like all the face stuff done and then I move on to eyes afterwards. So I love this eyeliner so much. It gives you a smoky brown line without budging. So if you like that eyeshadow look where it's not too harsh of a line and it just, I don't know, it looks more natural to me and I love that. But this Laura Mercier, this is called their Tightline Cake Liner. I have it in mahogany brown. It comes in 3 different colors, I think. I love this because it gives you that shadow look, but it will not budge. I can wear my Sephora liquid liners and do a wing and it will be off by the end of the day. If I accidentally like touch my eye throughout the day, it does not move and it's the most amazing thing ever. And then I'm just using this Smashbox 12 brush and it's a little angled brush. I sometimes use one that looks more like a paintbrush if I want to go for a more defined look, but I'm just going to be dabbing this on so this brush works well. Okay, so first I wet the brush a little bit. You only need water. You don't need makeup remover. Honestly, I think makeup remover doesn't even work that well with this, and I always used to use like micellar water or something with an eyeshadow to create this look. So I just dip it into the pot. I kind of wait until it gets a little bit drier because if it's too wet, it's going to look a little bit darker and I want it to look lighter. And then there's a mirror in here, which I'm going to look at because I cannot do this in my phone camera. But basically, I start kind of like at the outer edge of my eye and I'll start dabbing it there and then I'll twist it around and kind of go up the other way. Most of the time, I have been filling it all the way into my eye here, but for a while I was just doing the outer corners and I loved that look, but we're going for a little bit more definition today. Also, another thing with this brush and this product, if you are not good at eyeliner, this is the perfect product for you because it is not difficult to apply at all. I have used so many products in the past where I am sitting there at the end of doing my makeup with a pile of Q-tips next to me because I had to adjust it so much. And this product, it's basically foolproof, I would say. And it's just so easy to paint it on. The line doesn't have to be perfect because you'll see that because it just creates this kind of shadow when you put on mascara, it kind of just darkens your lash line, which gives your eyes a better shape. And it doesn't have to be perfect because your mascara is going to kind of like overshadow it a little bit. For mascara, and I just want to mention sometimes I will darken the creases of my eyes with the Hoola bronzer, but because I'm so pale right now, if I put that on, it looks like a brown eyeshadow. So sad, I don't want to talk about it. But I'm going to be using, okay, so I just got this like a week ago. First of all, the tube is super heavy. This is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. So basically, the whole big thing about this is that there are little tiny fibers in here and they're supposed to volumize and elongate your lashes. I think I've said this so many times, but I hate the spidery lash look. I shouldn't say hate. It's not my style to have like spidery lashes. I like for them to look exactly how they are, but just fluffed out and longer. I also like to have that shape where they appear to be longer toward the outside corner just because I kind of think it gives you like a more like fox look. So I picked this up maybe a week ago and I've been using it every single day. I love it so much. The brush, because it's so fluffy, is really the reason why you can get like those plush lashes as opposed to having these like harsh pointy lashes. And so I really go toward the root and I blink and then I let go just to kind of saturate the color toward my lash line again. And it will accentuate, as you can see, it's accentuating the line that I made with the Mercier liner. And also what I love about this mascara, it has more of that clay formula, whereas other ones that I've used before are way too liquidy. And that is what is coating your lashes and kind of like making them join together, and that's what's giving that spidery look. You don't have to use it a bunch of times and wait till it dries out a little bit for it to actually work. And then on the second time around, I don't dip the brush back in. I just kind of want to use the brush to kind of fluff them out. As you can see, it's kind of making them a little bit more voluminous, and you really don't need extra product at this step. It's just kind of to shape them a little bit better. We're just gonna make them look all nice and fluffy and puffy. Okay, so this is what they look like. They're just really fluffy and they're fanned out and they're not gathered together. I just love this formula so much. And it also wears really well throughout the day. So I work 10 hours and I obviously don't do makeup touch-ups throughout the day, but also when you're wearing a mask and all people can see is your eyes, I feel like it's really important to have all of this under control, especially since you don't have to do the rest of your makeup anyway. And that mascara is really good for just defining and giving you kind of like a really nice eye shape, and I love it so much. For a lip product, I am going to be using two colors. So I have Pillow Talk in a regular tube, but this is a sample that my friend didn't want. So I am going to use the Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury on the bottom, and then on the top, I'm going to throw on the Butter Gloss from NYX in the shade Praline. And I like to add, such a nice color. I like to add Praline on top because, as you can see, this is more of like a pinky look. I like in the winter to have a little bit more of like a brown tone look on my lips. And I also don't get to wear this stuff that much because of masks. So I kind of use it whenever I can. So you can see that it just darkens it a little bit and gives it more of like that brown tone to it. And I always throw a gloss on top of the Charlotte Tilbury one anyway because I like to have a little bit of a shine. So it just helps that I'm adding in a little bit more color with the Praline shade. I love the NYX Butter Glosses. I have used them every single time I'm applying a lip product now since I bought them like a few months ago, and yeah, they're just great. Okay, so this is the finished look. This is what I would look like if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic every single day, and it's just enhancing your natural features. Nothing too crazy with color. Obviously, we kept it mostly brown, mostly neutral. If you guys like these types of makeup tutorial videos, then definitely let me know in the comments below because I have a couple more like going out ones that we can kind of do because hopefully we are going to be out of this situation really soon, and we are all going out when this is over, so I feel like we should definitely do a going out makeup look also. If you guys have any questions about any of the products that I use, please feel free to comment them down below, or you guys can obviously DM me on Instagram. But thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and throw a comment down below if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one.